I watched the recent Prisma movie and I know some changes. Are they good? Are they bad? I'll let you come up with that decision yourself. Some of the content is going to be from chapters. They're split into parts, obviously things like point 1, that's why. So in chapter 40, there is a scene that appeared at the end of the chapter that's actually moved later into the movie after the dining room meeting. And when Illya is eavesdropping, she is found out because of Tanaka, who's actually not in the scene in the movie. In chapter 41, there is a snowball fight, and this is technically where the movie would start chapter-wise. Not much is shown of the snowball fight, but in the manga it's much longer, and Angelica and Bazette play a role in it as well. We also saw Luvia, Ren, and Bazette coming back from doing shopping, although in the movie they do have the things they shopped for, so they just cut out the part where they came home with the stuff and already had it. In chapter 42, they cut out the scene where the characters dressed up in some of those new outfits, and Shiro gives Chloe the origin bullet, but in the movie it's actually never shown him giving it to her, but she just has it, implying that he gave it to her before. If you didn't know that, that might be confusing too. In chapter 43, when Tanaka leaves the house, in the movie she leaves because she can sense Erica. In the manga, she actually ran away because they forced her to dress up in clothes she wasn't comfortable in, which is anything that's not her tracksuit. And when they enter the classroom, there's actually more of a conversation between Illya and Erica, and Tanaka even butts in a few times, but that's cut short here in the movie. In chapter 44, they removed some of the bathing scenes. The reveal that Pandora's box was never opened was actually revealed in the record room of the Emiya household and not in the dining room, and the fight with Beatrice and Miyu never happened in the manga. That's exclusive to this movie, and it's also revealed that Beatrice had the Heracles card before switching to the more powerful Thor/Magni card. In chapter 50, the Beatrice flashback was actually done differently, and some scenes were cut out, so we only saw quick cuts and blurbs here and there to show all specific parts, although they did have a nice point of view shot from Beatrice's perspective. So honestly, if you want the full backstory with all the dialogue and characters, then you should read the manga for this one. In chapter 51.1, we see Darius start to take form. This scene is not shown in the movie at all. In chapter 53.2, Illya installed the Saber card earlier in the fight when she fought the first round of Giants. In the movie, she stayed in her magical girl form for most of that. We also find out in the manga, not in the movie, that Pandora has had many names and they actually named them. These names are not named in the movie at all. In chapter 53.3, we see the creation and life of Pandora, which is not included in the movie. In chapter 59.2, Darius originally destroyed the other cards before going for Chloe, but in the movie he immediately goes for Chloe. So overall, I think the main reasons for the changes are so they can get to certain parts faster, so they altered the way we got there. They rearranged some scenes to be more suspenseful or impactful. They took essential scenes and took out any fluff and banter to streamline the pacing, and there was an extra scene that was shown towards the end of the movie that we're going to have another movie's worth of content to talk about. If you want to know what chapters to read to get the full context of things that got cut out, then read chapters 40 to 59 of the manga and you're all set. And if you like this video, then I personally recommend you check out my Why You Should Read the Prisma series, as it relates very closely to this video, as you can tell.